All right, let's talk about it. The elephant in the room for every single leader right now. How do you take all this AI chaos and actually turn it into something that helps your business? It's a question, right? And spoiler alert, the answer isn't just throwing money at more tech. It's about having a real strategy.
I mean, the pressure is just, it's huge. Every single day you see a new tool, a new headline, some new expectation that you have to be innovating with AI. And the speed of it all, it's just off the charts. We've never seen anything move this fast.
And if you need proof, just look at this number. We're talking nearly 40% of adults jumping on Gen AI in just 2 years. Think about that. That adoption rate is faster, it's steeper than even smartphones were. So this isn't some we'll get to it later kind of thing. No, it's here, right now, and it's already changing everything.
And here's where it gets kind of scary for a lot of companies. More than half of your employees, your employees, are probably using AI tools at work already, whether you've approved them or not. It's called shadow AI, and it's a massive risk. We're talking data leaks, compliance nightmares, you name it.
So, okay, everyone's using it, there's all this hype, but here's the reality check. Most companies are just stuck. Only 1 in 4 has actually managed to get AI out of the let's play with it phase and into the business where it can make a real difference. Everyone else, they're just spinning their wheels, stuck in this pilot project trap that never goes anywhere.
And this right here, this quote nails it. AI works best when it is built in, not bolted on. It's so simple, but it's everything. If you're just trying to slap AI on top of what you already do, you're pretty much setting yourself up to fail. It has to be woven into the very fabric of your organization.
And when you look at the two approaches side by side, the difference is just night and day, right? The bolted-on way, that gets you chaos, complexity, silos, projects that just die on the vine. But the built-in way, that's strategic. That's where you get real efficiency and value that touches every single part of the business. Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually make that jump? How do you get from the chaos to the impact? Well, you start with a plan. It's simple, really. You wouldn't just start throwing bricks and wood together to build a house, would you? Of course not. You'd need a blueprint. It's the exact same idea here. And that's where something like a strategic framework comes in. A real leadership blueprint. This isn't about chasing the hot new tool of the week that's going to be old news in 6 months. No. This is about building something that lasts, a solid foundation of governance, ethical rules, and, just making sure your team is actually ready for this massive shift. And a huge piece of that blueprint is figuring out your governance. How are you going to run this thing? Are you going to be totally centralized, where one group calls all the shots for consistency? Or do you go decentralized and let individual teams run wild and innovate? Or maybe you do something in the middle, a hybrid model with what's called the center of excellence. Basically a core group of experts who guide everyone. Getting this structure right is like step 1 to getting out of the chaos. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? What happens when a company gets this foundational stuff right? Well, let me tell you, the results are pretty amazing. And this isn't some textbook example. This is happening right now. Let's start with finance. You've got the Mercedes-AMG Formula One team. I mean, talk about high stakes. They're not just bolting on AI, they've embedded it deep into their financial systems. Why? To squeeze every ounce of performance out of their budget. It helps them make split-second decisions that give them an edge, not just in the race, but in the business itself. Or how about HR? Think about Delta Airlines. They're ditching the old one-size-fits-all training model. Instead, they're using AI to build personalized growth plans for every single employee. Imagine that, a development path that's perfectly tailored to you, your skills, and where you want to go. That's a game changer for people.
And then there's the supply chain. Look at Microsoft. They use this built-in idea to totally transform their entire supply chain. They went from being reactive, putting out fires, to being predictive. They can now see problems coming down the pike and deal with them before they blow up. That is huge.
Okay, these examples are super cool, right? But I know what you're thinking, because it's the question every leader has to ask. What's the ROI? Show me the money. And that's the whole point. A solid framework isn't just about playing defense. It's about putting points on the board. When you have a real blueprint, you drive real value. We're talking about tangible things. You cut your operational costs. You increase your revenue. You make your people way more productive. And maybe just as important, you stop making those really, really expensive mistakes. And you can see it right here in the numbers. Look at Western Sugar Cooperative.
They automated their invoicing and bam, 25% faster processing. That wasn't just a feel-good metric. It meant the cost for every single invoice dropped from $8 to $6. That's what I'm talking about. That's real, tangible ROI. So look, the proof is right there. When you do this the right way, when you build on a solid foundation of data and governance, AI pays off. It just does. So the only real question left is, what's your first move? And here's the absolute key takeaway. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Winning with AI isn't about chasing the shiniest new toy. It's about building the muscle, the organizational capacity to use any tool that comes along. It's about the strategy, the rules, and the people. So the path is there. The blueprint exists. We've seen the impact it can have. It's not a mystery anymore. The only real question left for you is, where do you start? What is that very first foundational block that your organization needs to lay right now?